Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. This is Marjorie Wildcraft with Lynn Gillespie, and we are having adventures in high performance gardening. This really is high performance gardening. I can't believe, if you've been watching us for the past weeks, it's astonishing how much that I've been harvesting. I harvest a lot more than what we're actually showing here in the video. So,
what do you do with it all?
I give a lot of it away.
Isn't that fun?
It is fun.
Yeah.
It's really great to turn people on, especially people that don't eat real well, and you give them this fresh food, and they're like,
wow, so good.
It's great.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, it's so easy. So Lynn, we're going to have Q&A day today.
Okay.
And Jennifer and Jim and David want to know what happened to the kittens and the goat, the sheep Taffy. Taffy is so cute. Still so cute, but it's a bigger sheep now.
Yeah, she's big.
And the kittens have turned into cats.
Aha.
Yes. So the story with the kittens is I was trying to get my daughter to come live with me here in Colorado. And I thought, wow, if I get a bunch of kittens, for sure, right? But I'm going to tell you, if a young woman has a choice between living in Paonia, Colorado and Austin, Texas, Austin, right? So
bigger.
It's right.
A little bit.
And I realized how dumb it was for me to like have kittens because I wanted my daughter here. So I went out and found really good homes for the kittens. Mm-hmm. And these are really astonishing cats. I mean, the people I gave these kittens to like actually thank me.
Wow.
For giving me this cats, right? And I'm going to organize a kitten reunion in a couple of weeks, and we're going to get all the kittens back. Everybody's telling me they're not kittens anymore, but we're going to get all of them back here, and we're going to have a potluck. And
there you go.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah.
And so what happened to Taffy?
Taffy is on the farm.
Mm-hmm.
She has 2 brothers and a sister that were also orphaned.
Wow.
And so the 4 of them make their own little flock. They live with the 2 old ladies who are about 15 years old, the 2 old sheep.
Uh-huh.
And doing really well. They get weaned here in 2 weeks and go out with a big herd.
They're still bottle fed, yeah?
Yeah, they're still bottle fed. 2 more weeks, and then she becomes a big girl.
Taffy's kind of famous around town here because Taffy gets to go out with Lynn on all kinds of trips.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bake sales and whatever. And
people
Taffy's
pet her, and she's our poster child.
She's the poster sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one question. We had another question come in. This came in from several people, Jacqueline, James, Timothy, and if I haven't gotten your name, I so apologize, but we're getting a ton in on social media, people asking, what exactly was the fertilizer that you used and recommended?
The one that we use is the Happy Frog fruit and flower fertilizer. Sometimes a little hard to get. Mm-hmm. I have been able to get it off of Amazon. But basically, there's 3 things you're looking for in your organic fertilizer.
Okay.
One is it's to be used for like feeding tomatoes, so it's high in potassium phosphate, a little lower in nitrogen. Second,
what kind of numbers do you generally recommend?
Oh, well, the numbers on the organics are low. Just higher in the back 2 numbers and lower in the front number, and that'll work.
And as a general guideline, in case you didn't know, those 3 numbers are N, P, and K.
Nitrogen, potassium phosphate.
And there's actually a whole gamut of other things you want, but like those are the 3
Those are the 3 biggies.
Yeah, they're kind of like carbohydrates, protein, and fat, right? And then you need a bunch of other stuff, right?
So then the next piece of that puzzle is you need the trace minerals.
The trace minerals.
That's where all the flavor's coming from. That's where your nutrient density comes from. So you got to have your NPK, your main ones. You got to have your trace minerals. And then I also like having the mycorrhizal fungi.
Mm-hmm.
It's in that mix as well. So the mix has all 3 things that I'm looking for, but you could buy them separate as well. You can buy the mycorrhizal fungi, you can buy the trace minerals, and then you can buy your NPK in an organic form with the first number, the N being the lowest number of the equation.
You don't want to jack them up with a bunch of nitrogen.
No, because we're using the compost.
Yeah. Well, that was what I was going to say. We've always been adding compost whenever we do a little bit.
And the compost is a little higher in nitrogen, so that complements the compost. So your tomato plants don't turn into ginormous tomato plants with no tomatoes.
Right. That's the problem with jacking them up with nitrogen. They'll grow a bunch of leaves.
Yeah, they're big.
And then no fruit. I did that one year. Mm-hmm.
So
I thought I was so great. Look at my tomato plants are taking over my house.
And now I have nothing to eat.
Now I have nothing to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I recommend for feeding the garden. And next week is time to feed the garden
It's going to be the heavy feeder week.
Yep. We got that on our schedule, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And the third thing that came in, and you and I have talked about this off and on, and Lynn and I have a little bit of a controversy.
Okay.
Very pleasant. We're very pleasant people with each other. But so Lynn uses a Captain Jack to handle insects. And I'm a big fan of like, hey, I believe insects are a sign that we need more mineral supplementation here. And so I would have like immediately hit that with like seaweed and azomite and stuff like that. Now I am totally following directions though.
Okay.
And I'm very impressed because this Captain Jack, so I hit it once a week, maybe sometimes twice a week if we're getting a lot of outbreak. And it really is controlling everything. So I got to say, it's a good system.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with that. But I think next year, we grow 2 identical beds.
Okay.
And when the insects show up, I'm going to hit them up with a whole bunch of like superfoods.
Let's do it.
And then you can hit them up with Captain Jacks.
Yeah.
And then we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yours will be eaten.
No, they won't. I've fixed that actually before. I've had like an outbreak. I had these really cool beetles one time. I mean, they looked like they were from outer space. I was like, these cannot have been, man, it's so hot today, I'm dripping, but they were the shiniest, they looked like ladybugs, but they were really shiny. Like, I don't know in nature how you can have chrome on a little ladybug.
That's cool.
It was the coolest bugs ever.
Yeah.
And they came in, they were attacking my sweet potatoes, and so what I did is I ran the chickens in there who like, wow, these are easy to see, you know. And as soon as they'd mostly eaten all the bugs and they were starting to eat in my foliage, I kicked them out, hit everything with seaweed, and I never had another outbreak again. So that was a good thing.
But you know, not every garden is perfect.
Yeah.
Not every gardener is perfect. And sometimes things happen, and to have the knowledge of how to organically control an insect population is a very, very good education.
Yeah.
Because what if, something didn't work out for you?
Yeah.
What's your second step? So
It's hard to believe how hot it is here.
I'm not sweating.
I am. Well, I've been out running around and doing all kinds of stuff. I have a gift for Lynn. I wanted to show this to Lynn and to you too. I'm getting ready to do the Home Medicine Summit, which is coming up in the fall. Here, by the way, this is a zucchini that we grew. And it was just so gorgeous, I had to pick it. But, and I'm going to put it right here, and then I'm not going to forget it.
No, don't forget it.
But
breakfast.
So eating fresh herbs with your meals, they're called carminatives, and they really help. There's a reason that a lot of these ancient recipes have, things like, basil or sage or thyme added into them is because it really helps improve digestion. And I will totally confess that almost all my spices are up in the spice cabinet. And being the average American, no, I tend to be a little bit lazy, right? And I'm like, oh gosh, do I want to go up there and like dig through my spice cabinet? So I have got a miniature Lazy Susan. I put my spices on the table, and this has really ramped up my use
On the table, good idea.
of spices, and those spices are actually very good for you. So I'm so excited because I'm going to be drying my cilantro and my basil, putting them in my own jars, and then putting them on my Lazy Susan.
Nice.
So I've got a Lazy Susan for you, so
thanks.
you can do that too.
I put my spices on the table too.
I've actually got a bigger one for you because you have a big thing. So
Big table?
yeah, and a big counter.
Yes, I have a big counter.
Lynn has a counter. I'm like, Lynn, this is the biggest kitchen island I have ever
It's
seen.
for cutting up elk.
I know, she says that. Oh yeah, well that's because we cut up the elk in here. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell do you get an elk
That's what
through the front door,
It's
first
the
of all?
sliding glass door, and you have to cut them in half. You cut it in half, and it comes through the door.
And the whole family,
The whole family stands around, and we cut it up, package it, goes in the freezer.
an elk's a huge amount of meat.
Yeah, we usually get 2 or 3 a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you've got a lot of boys.
We got a lot of boys.
And
We
they
got
eat a lot of
men.
elk.
A lot of
Yeah.
family feed 4 families out of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. That's why the island's so big.
It's amazing. She has this huge kitchen island, and really, I mean,
You
it's
should see
an
it in
elk on
canning season. It's covered in everything.
Everything, yeah.
Apricots, apples, anything.
Well, I've got you a bigger Lazy Susan, but you'll need it on that island because then you can actually reach something that's in the middle.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is Marjory Wildcraft. If you've got questions, enter them in the comments area. We do our best to monitor. I know this is going out everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, social media, the forums at the Grow Network, blog posts. And we do our best to monitor all the comments. But, feel free to ask us questions. And then if you do have a good gardening joke, we are totally open.
Ooh, good
aren't
gardening
we?
joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humor.
Yeah.
We really need humor.
Why did the chicken cross the road, kind?
Why did it?
To get to the other side.
Oh.
Don't you remember?
Yeah. Who lets their chickens cross the road?
Shiny bugs are over on the
The
other
shiny bugs
side.
are over in Marjorie's garden.
They want the chrome covered ones.
I cannot believe those. I mean, really. I did not know anything nature had looked like chrome.
Yeah, that's
It
cool.
was crazy. I should have gotten photographs of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, I am actually going to be gone again yet next week. Travel, work. I know it's a crazy schedule. That's why I love Lynn.
I keep the garden going.
She keeps the garden going.
I'm
That's
the
why my
garden
garden
sitter.
looks amazing.
And she showers me in beautiful boxes and boxes of cherries.
I do, yeah, and gifts and things. So you got to keep your garden buddy happy. Keep your garden buddy happy.
Yeah, we'll keep
So
it going.
I think Lynn might actually do one of these without me.
Oh yeah. Guess what's gonna happen without you?
You know, I do get to see the footage eventually.
Yeah, I know your record.
I know, right?
It might be a while before you catch up to me.
You know what? What episode? We're like on 12 or something like now, and I've only watched episode 7 so far, so I'm behind. But you know, I figure I participate then. Doesn't that count? Anyway,
Right. You know exactly what we say.
yeah, but except for the weeks I've been missing. So anyway, don't let Lynn do anything bad while I'm gone, okay?
You'll just have to wait and see.
I'll wait and see. Hey, we'll see you all next week. This is Marjory Wildcraft, Lynn Gillespie. I'm with the Grown Network, and Lynn's with the Living Farm.
Who's the sidekick?
Oh, that was the question that came in. Who's the sidekick?
You can't get away.
It depends on where you are, apparently. I was at the post office. Now, we'll have that discussion in 2 weeks from now. We will determine who's the sidekick 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
We'll see you then.